Liverpool 2, Manchester City 0. The Reds keep marching on. They are now 11 points clear of Pep Guardiola's side and 9 points clear of both Arsenal and Chelsea. Can anybody stop this Arnie Slot machine? Hey guys, welcome to the channel. Welcome to another video. Today's video is the instant match reaction to Liverpool's huge 2-0 victory over Manchester City. A purely controlled and dominating performance from the Reds, in which goals from Cody Gakpo and Mohamed Salah were the difference makers on the day. Liverpool cruised to a 2-0 win at Anfield this afternoon to help their title charge continue, strengthen, and to potentially hit the final nail in the coffin of the title charge for Manchester City in theirs. That is obviously a talking point in this video, but we are obviously going to mainly be focusing on the Reds in what was a fantastic display from back to front by Arnie Slot's men. We're going to be talking about the game, we're going to be talking about the performance, the result, and everything else in between. But before we go any further in discussing all of that, I would like to remind you to please like the video and also subscribe if you are new. Both things are always and forever be greatly appreciated. Get involved in the comment section. Let me know what you guys are thinking and feeling down there. Your thoughts, comments, opinions, predictions, feelings, whatever you want to call it, will make for great interesting reading, I'm sure, down there. So please do use that comment section, people, and talk to me on everything and anything to do with Liverpool, the Premier League title race, today's game, Manchester City, or anything else along those lines. It would be greatly appreciated, and I'm sure, like I say, will make for interesting reading. Right, now that's out of the way, don't worry, let's get on with the performance. Let's go on with the instant match reaction to Liverpool 2, Manchester City 0 at Anfield. Jesus Christ, where do we start? This Arnie Slot machine is absolutely insane. Absolutely incredible. It was a dominating performance. I think the first half was beautiful chaos by Liverpool. It was aggressive, it was tenacious, it was physical, it was tough. It was everything that you would have hoped for from this Liverpool side. And then in the second half, we showed how we could adapt. We allowed them to have the ball. We dropped off. And they didn't create anything really of note. If anything, the only thing that they really created was through a mistake from arguably the best player on that pitch, Virgil van Dijk. Everything he did was so calm, so effortless, so nonchalant, that he was just insane. And then the one moment he makes a mistake, Kieran Kelleher is there to save. Kieran Kelleher is there to save Liverpool. That was the only real chance of note that I remember Manchester City really happening. And I guess on Van Dijk's part, he can use the Robertson excuse that he used midweek and say, well, Kelleher had really nothing to do, so I decided to give him something to do. That could be Van Dijk's excuse come the end of the game, but Kelleher saved us there. Van Dijk was imperious. Liverpool go marching onwards. Like I say, going into the game, I said that we need to smell blood here. And that's exactly what we did. I think the only thing that you can really hold against Liverpool in this game is that we really should have put more past them. We really should have done. We had a number of golden opportunities to extend our lead, to really put 3, 4, 5, 6 goals past this City side. They really were terrible. And that was quite shocking, because even though this City side were coming into this game in really bad form, even though they were there seemingly for the taking, you would have thought that a game against Liverpool, a rival of theirs in the past several years, they would have been really up for this one. They would have really fancied their chances of getting something out of this game. This wasn't going to be a side that's going to sit back and try and soak up the pressure and hit them on the counter-attack as much as other teams would. But you would have thought they would have been a bit more aggressive. This City side were nervy. They were second-guessing themselves. They were scared. They were terrified. And even when they had the ball at their feet, and even in the second half when they had the large majority of the ball at their feet and they were knocking it about, there was no real penetration. There was no real quickening of the tempo. There was nothing from this City side to suggest they were going to rediscover the form of the many years that they have been dominating the English Premier League for. Everything that went in City's favour, everything that went in City's way over the past several years, or a large majority of what's gone in their way these past several years, has been all to do with how they play. It's been all to do with their decision making. It's been all to do with them not second guessing themselves. And it wasn't there today. And a large part of that is down to the way Liverpool played. The way that Liverpool pressed. We sensed blood early. We went in. We were aggressive. We were physical. We were winning the ball back in key positions in really high up areas. And we were really, really, penetrating their back line time and time again. We should have had more goals, especially in that first half. We had a number of opportunities to score more goals than what we did. Virgil van Dijk himself, like I said earlier, he was probably the man of the match overall. He was absolutely quality in everything that he did defensively, apart from that one mistake right at the end. But he himself, the only thing missing from his performance was a goal, and he himself could have actually had a hat-trick. From set pieces, we actually found Van Dijk on a few occasions, and it was just unfortunate on a couple of them. One, he hits the inside of the post. One, he heads wide that he probably should have done better with. He really could have had a hat-trick today, Van Dijk. They really could not deal with him from those, defensively, from those set pieces. He was absolutely insane, was the Liverpool skipper in all kind of areas. Salah had the golden opportunity before he scores the penalty, of course, in the second half. He really should have buried that. He robs the ball high up for Kanji. He's through on goal. He's one-on-one. He could either square it, he could shoot himself, and he decides to go himself, and he blazes it wide. Should have really been 2-0 up from that point onwards anyway. It's fortunate that miss did not come back to bite us, and I think, Jones forced a decent save from Ortega, and I think Diaz forced a decent save as well from him. So we had a number of golden opportunities. And even, like I say, in the second half, when we didn't have so much of the ball, through just allowing City to have the ball, allowing them to come onto us, and then we hit them on the counter-attack, we created the better of the opportunities. We really, really did. And like I say, the only negative I have against this Liverpool performance was that we didn't score more goals. Cody Gakpo gets off to a flyer. We already hit a couple of warning strikes against City earlier on. Van Dijk's header, like I mentioned earlier, striking the post. And then Cody Gakpo breaks the deadlock. A fantastic ball from Trent Alexander-Arnold. I was going to say this for later, but I will say Trent Alexander-Arnold's game today, superb. Absolutely superb. To say he's been on the sidelines for a few weeks, he came back and he was immense. He was absolutely immense. Whether it be defensively, he was solid. He kept Núñez quiet. He also did okay against Doku. And then obviously he came off. And I think that's probably the right call. Obviously, with Conor Bradley being injured now for a few games, we obviously need to kind of keep him as fresh and kind of manage his minutes as best as possible. So it's possible that we will see a lot more of the likes of Jarell Kwanzaa and obviously Joe Gomez, especially with also Konate being injured as well. So we do need to manage his minutes and kind of bleed him back into the side a little bit, fitness-wise at least. But I thought he was absolutely insane defensively again today. And he had a couple of opportunities. He hit one that blazed into Rosette, but he also hit another one that was a whisker away from finding the bottom corner. And some of his passing today, I mean, we mention his passing pretty much every single game, this guy. But some of his passing today was absolutely insane. And he makes it look so effortless. And he's so nonchalant about it. He's just a couple of passes that he's made today. One for the goal that Gakpo scored, the ball to Salah on the right hand side. He knows where Salah's going to run into. He knows where the space is. He just pops that ball into that space and just lets Salah run onto it and chase it. It was absolutely brilliant from him. But there was another one later on where it's just brilliant. He just gets the ball and he just waits this pass beautifully. He'd be brilliant at playing bowls if he could actually kick them. He just weighs it beautifully where he just pings a ball and it just sort of curls around. I can't remember if it was a Ake or a Kanji now, but just curls it around and it just bends like an outswinging bend around the defender, and Salah just runs onto it, and he's a little bit unfortunate that he can't get anything away. And to be fair to the defender, he does cover very well, but some of Trent's passing today was absolutely insane. But yeah, fantastic ball by Trent to find Salah. Salah runs onto it, and then it's a wonderful cross. It is a wonderful cross towards that back post, and Cody Gakpo's got the simplest of tasks of just getting something on it to just bundle the ball into the back of the net. Salah's cross was absolutely insane, and the run from Gakpo was brilliant. Don't get me wrong, was brilliant, but it's also another piece of evidence that goes against Kyle Walker, the absolute fraud that is, of being a great right back. Been saying it for a long, long time. He's finished. Been saying that he's been overrated for a long, long time. We're seeing it more and more as the weeks go on. He fell asleep completely, and Gakpo capitalised. But it was all down to the ball from Trent to set Salah away, and then the ball from Salah himself to get another assist onto his name. Absolutely phenomenal from the Egyptian king. Liverpool continued the first half. City kind of get back into it a little bit, but Liverpool are still in control. Liverpool are dominating. Liverpool are still getting the better of the opportunities away. Van Dijk with another header that goes wide. Should really have made it 2-0 from there. And then, like I say, in the second half, we switched up a little bit. We knew that obviously City were going to be coming on to us more and more in search of an equaliser. So we dropped back a little deeper. We decided to control the game without possession. We decided to stop them and neutralise them in key areas. I forgot that Erling Haaland was even on the pitch for a large part of that game. He did absolutely nothing. And again, full credit to Virgil van Dijk. And credit to Joe Gomez as well. As someone who may get a little bit... it may go a little bit under the radar a little bit in this game, but to say that he's not really featured much this season or a great deal, and then he's been asked to come in to kind of cover for the injured Ibrahim Konate. He came in and was wonderful today. He was brilliant today again. He was an absolute brick wall alongside Van Dijk, and we already know that as Liverpool fans. We know that they have a wonderful partnership as it is, and it'd just be nice to obviously see that more and more again. And like I said earlier, we're going to see a lot more of Kwanzaa as well. He came on, and actually it would quite surprise me that Kwanzaa played right back rather than Gomez. I thought Gomez was going to go out to the right, Kwanzaa was going to slot in alongside Van Dijk, but it was actually Kwanzaa at right back. So whether that was just a tactical thing, whether Slot doesn't really like to break up his centre-back partnership in this kind of big game, in the kind of scenario we were in, wasn't really sure. But yeah, it was absolutely brilliant. City make a couple of changes. They start to get a bit more possession, a bit more of the ball. Not really worrying Liverpool too much, but of course the nerves start to build a little bit because obviously it's only 1-0 and all it takes is one lucky deflection, one lucky bounce to fall into a Manchester City player's path and they're through on goal. But luckily, we get a penalty. It's an absolute stonewall of a penalty. Don't think anybody can debate or question that. Don't know what Ruben Diaz is thinking, but the substitution of Darwin Núñez absolutely worked to perfection. He did exactly what I thought he was going to do. I was calling for Núñez when obviously we started to play this more counter-attacking style in the second half, because obviously his pace would work wonders, just pinging the ball over the top and him chasing it down like a madman. And it worked. Between him and I think Salah, Diaz is dallying on the ball. They both chase him down, and it's Diaz eventually who breaks out with the ball when he's going one-on-one with the goalkeeper. He pushes it past the goalkeeper. The goalkeeper comes flying out, trips him. It's a stonewall penalty, and Mo Salah, he made a mistake midweek in not converting his spot kick. Well, there was no mistake. He weren't going to miss 2 penalties on the bounce. I know he has done actually before, but he wasn't going to miss 2 penalties on the bounce this time, and he made absolutely no mistake in the penalty area, no mistake from the penalty spot, and he should have done well, and he did do what he should have done midweek and what he should have done earlier on in the game by scoring his goal of the game, and that's exactly what he did. He scored from the penalty spot. He doubled Liverpool's lead, and from there, that was it. That was game over. Like I say, Liverpool had a couple of opportunities, half opportunities. I think Jones forced a good save from the goalkeeper. City had their best chance of the game. Van Dijk caught sleeping on the ball a little bit, made a mistake. I think it was De Bruyne who went through on goal. Couldn't beat the brick wall that is Keeman Kelleher, though. And like I say, Kelleher had absolutely nothing to do in this game. Like, he had it actually easier than what Scott Carson has it at Manchester City. That's how easy. That is how easy Keeman Kelleher had it today. He had absolutely nothing to do apart from every now and again just be available just to receive the ball and lay the ball off. Receive the ball and lay the ball off. That's all he had to do in that game, Kelleher. He picked up probably his easiest and cleanest of sheets that you can get from a clean sheet. It was easy for him. Easy. And Liverpool saw the game out. They win by 2-0. Another couple of goals on the board. Another clean sheet to add to the collection. Another 3 points to further extend their lead at the top of the table. Phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal from Liverpool. Like I say, there was a few key performances out there today. Like I say, Kelleher to stop that one chance that City had was brilliant. Trent was superb. Van Dijk was imperious. Gomez was brilliant, to say that he's not really featured much. Robertson actually had a solid game, I think, today. He actually made a really good pass through to Gakpo, and Gakpo was just a little bit unlucky that, again, a covering defender managed to stop him from getting a proper shot on goal. But yeah, I thought Robertson, I know he's come under a lot of slack recently, but he actually was okay today. I thought nothing too wrong, nothing too crazy. But yeah, I thought he was okay today. I thought Szoboszlai was pretty good today. Pressed a lot, was good in linking up play. Szoboszlai is better when he doesn't think too much, when he can just give the ball and just lay it off. There were a couple of moments where he probably should have given the ball quicker, but I thought he was okay today. I thought Gravenberch and McAllister again were working in tandem beautifully. Salah was a constant threat on that right hand side. He will still never win a free kick from a referee, but yeah, so that's a little bit of a worry, but you know, it's just something that we as Liverpool fans will have to deal with going forward. Diaz starting up front was really, really good. I like that kind of move, and I liked the idea of bringing Nunez on later. And Gakpo was superb once again, and again picks up another goal. And I think that his season is quietly going a little bit unnoticed, because obviously there are other distracting things. But you know what? I don't think he'll mind too much, because he can get on with his own thing without the pressure applying to him so much. I think it's been a bit of a slow burner, but I think we are starting to see more and more of Gakpo, and especially popping up in these kinds of areas, scoring these types of goals that he is doing, and obviously linking up with the rest of the Liverpool attack. So I'm very happy with how things are right now. Liverpool are absolutely flying high. We're 9 points clear at the top of the table. We're 11 points clear of Manchester City. I'm ecstatic. I love it. I'm absolutely over the moon with it. And yes, I promised I'd say it if we won. I promised I would say this if I won. And I'm a man of my word. And I'm going to say it right here and right now. We're going to win the league. We are so going to win the league. Oh, God, I'm going to clip that now. I mean, it's going to absolutely go flat in it. Yeah, that is... Yeah, I said I'd say it, and now I'm a man of my word, so... And if we don't win it, so what? It's like, yeah, okay, whatever. No, we're going to win it. We're going to win it. This is going to be clipped, I'm going to be embarrassed, but yeah, we're going to win the league. I said I'd say it if we won against City. We're 9 points clear right now. We're 11 points clear of City. Arsenal and Chelsea are seemingly secretly turning into our closest rivals to it. We've got some big games coming up, some absolute monstrous games as well. Newcastle, Everton, Fulham. Every game right now turns into our most important and most difficult game of the season, because the pressure and the intensity turns up a few notches with each passing game. And although we have a bit of breathing space, although it is practically a 3 to 4 game swing right now that we have ahead of us, I'm loving what we're doing right now. If we can tie up some of this off-field chat in the next few days, few weeks, whatever it may be, if we can head into January, if we can maybe add another player that is going to be bled into the side and maybe help re-strengthen and reinforce the side to go strong in the second half of the season. Because you just know that the likes of Arsenal will go in and try their luck in the transfer window. You know that City are basically limping their way to the January transfer window as well. Chelsea will obviously want to spend as they always have done. So there's a lot there for us to look at and to focus on. And I just think, like I say, I just think we need to be still one step ahead of the game there. But yeah, I can't fault anything that's going on the pitch right now. We are looking insane. Brilliant performance today from back to front. Different, adapting, flexible. It was a wonderful performance to see. It was brilliant to see. And to neutralise the champions to having next to nothing. Because what I've said about City all season is that their chances created hasn't been their problem. Their problem has been controlling games. Their problem has been defensively being watertight, as we know that they have been in recent years. That's been their problem because they're not anymore. They lack leadership. They lack control. They lack just any sense of direction in that. They lack courage. They were so nervous in that game. There were a few times where they just hesitated, they second-guessed, and Liverpool just pounced. Especially in that first half, we just pounced on every little mistake they were making. And it was wonderful to see from us. It was absolutely wonderful to see. But I could understand the absolute shambles it must be from a City perspective of watching that. 4 Premier League defeats on the bounce now for Pep Guardiola. 4 in a row. That's unheard of. Not just for a side that has dominated the Premier League like what Pep Guardiola's Manchester City have done in recent years, but just in any kind of era, from any world-class top manager. It's just somewhat unheard of. And the winless streak in general in all competitions is even worse. It's even worse. And, you know, I'm sure there'll be a lot of discussion. We'll talk about Manchester City in a lot more detail later on in the week. But, wow. Just wow when it comes to talking about City right now. It's absolutely unbelievable what's going on there, and we made them look below average today. We really did, and that's not me being hyperbolic. If anything, the result flattered Manchester City because we should have won by more. We should have scored more. That's simply it. We should have scored more. 2-0 actually flatters Manchester City so much in this game. But there you have it. Anyway, we'll talk more about City later on in the week. We'll talk more about Liverpool, I'm sure, as well. But the fact of the matter is, and the bottom line of this very fine Sunday afternoon, Liverpool win again. Liverpool win at Anfield. Liverpool beat Manchester City, an enemy, a foe of theirs in title challenges of recent years, by 2-0 thanks to goals from Cody Gakpo and a penalty from Mohamed Salah. Liverpool move 9 points clear at the top of the table. Liverpool move 11 points clear of Manchester City. City are in absolute chaos right now, absolute freefall, and Liverpool are sitting pretty at the top of the table. There you have it, people. That is what we got to take away, and I also believe now we're going to win the league. There you have it, people. That's what I'm saying here. Those are just the thoughts, comments, opinions, predictions, feelings, whatever I'm going to call it, of this guy. I want to know what you guys think. What do you make of Liverpool? What do you make of Manchester City? What about the game that played before our very eyes today? as Liverpool beat City by 2-0. Let me know what your guys' thoughts, comments, opinions, predictions, feelings, whatever you want to call it, on the teams, the game, or anything else in particular down below in that comment section. Do get involved. Talk to me on this. Would love to know what you have to say, people. I'm sure it'll make for great, interesting reading. Hit the like button if you haven't already. Subscribe if you are new or want to see more content like this. Both things are always and forever be greatly appreciated. And as always, thank you all so much for watching and listening. And thank you all for your continued or even brand new support. It's very much appreciated to me and the channel. So thank you all so much for that. Will always be appreciated and never taken for granted. So thank you all so much for doing that. I've been Fletch. This has been another Fletch Talks video, and I will see you and speak to you all again soon in another video or live stream or whatever it may be. Cheers, guys. Thanks everyone for watching. Take care. Enjoy the rest of your day. Speak to you all again very, very soon. And up the title chasing Reds.